Okay, so you should be able to see the dash here. We can toggle through those modes very easily on that left switch block with the mode button, as you'd expect, and you only have to close that throttle to basically change the modes on the run. So that's very easy to do. Running through the modes, rain mode, lowest power, mid-range EB, highest traction control on setting 3. User, you can set that up to whatever you want within those 3 kind of options. Sport, full power, only 1 in the EB and only 1 in the traction control. And then standard is 2 on power, 2 on EB, 2 on traction control, very much the mid-range mode. You do have a whole heap of information here, trip meter, trip fuel consumption, average fuel consumption, voltage. You then have your side stand switch and oil. You have a temperature display. You've got your clock. You've got your tacho, speedo, and I do feel as like, yeah, you've got your gear indicator there as well, and a fuel gauge. We've just filled up the bike, and you have a lot of stuff there that you can go through. Now, when you get over to user mode, you can, on the switch block, go in and you can set that riding mode up just how I told you then through those 3 settings. So it's not like a super complicated electronic system. You can set the shift point, so obviously it'll tell you when it's time to shift up. You can also work through the settings for the self-cancelling turn signals, which work pretty well, I will say. And then you've also got a Trip A auto reset and the HISS, which is their security system, which immobilizes the bike if someone steals it. Moving down into the display, you've got the display type, and you can actually change that between these different displays. That's really quite cool. You've also got, going back, there's a difference between like the long press and the short press with that little almost joystick style thing. You've got your brightness you can set, you've got your background you can set, favorite information you can set. Moving back, we've got date and time units, so between kilometers and miles, of course, language, and Bluetooth pairing. So you can actually use a voice command system for your mobile through the dash itself, which is quite cool. Honda have got their own system for that. And then you've got your maintenance equipment. You've got the quick shift initialize. That's an accessory. You'll have to pay for that. About $400, and MotoHub tell me about an hour's work to install, so maybe $600 all up. And then you've just got some other information that you almost certainly don't care about. And there you go. So this is a different display. As you can see, you've got like an analog tacho. You've got your speed, your fuel gauge. I actually kind of like that display a little bit more. I don't know about you, but that's just something to keep in mind as one of the options you've got for changing things on the bike. And then having a look at this switch block. So you can see here the switch block up the top, you've got your high beam flasher, you've got your mode button, your horn, the finish button. I'm not even sure what that's for because I wasn't using it. Your self-cancelling indicator toggle, so you don't normally need to toggle them off, and a hazard light toggle, which is cool to see. On the other bar, it is just your start and stop, so like your engine start, so that's quite simple, and there's no adjustability on the clutch side, so keep that in mind. You might want to get maybe an aftermarket lever on the left if that's a problem.